Yeah, man!
Hello, my name is Miguel, and today I'm going to make for you steak, vegetables, stir fry. So you're going to need some oil for frying, soy sauce, sherry, cooking wine, dried chili pepper, 2 onions, carrot, cornstarch, a stalk of scallion, optional, sesame seeds, 2 garlic cloves, piece of ginger, broccoli or cauliflower, and steak and pepper, scotch bonnet pepper, chili, pepper in oil, and chili bean sauce. Alright, so first get 4 to 5 dried chili pepper, or you can get it shredded already. Ready made shredded chili pepper. If not, just do as you see me doing and cut little strips. Get a food scissors and just cut little strips and then hold them together and then shred it. Then shred your dried chili pepper. So what I did at first is cut the stem part off. Alright, so next prepare your vegetables. This is the garlic, so just remove the outer leaf of the garlic. Or the skin of the garlic. Just trim any brown spots that you might see. Scallion is optional. Just remove any dying leaves, cut the tip end off, and cut the root end off. As for the onion, just remove the outer leaf, just the outer leaf, and cut the 2 ends off. Do as you see me doing. Now the carrot, just scrape the surface off. Just lightly scrape the surface. Just kind of remove any. Okay, next, put to heat a saucepan. We're going to toast our sesame seeds. We're going to roast our sesame seeds. So put the stove gauge on low. Measure and add 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds to the saucepan. To the heating saucepan. Keep the stove gauge on low. It should take about 5 minutes to roast. Alright, so this is a piece of ginger. Just remove the skin by scraping it off. Just rinse it off, make sure it's cleaned properly. Alright, so now you take your ginger and shred it to puree. Do the same with your garlic, the ginger. Do the same with the ginger. So that was the garlic we just shred to puree, and the ginger. You want a piece as big as your index, the first bend of your finger. Alright, so now just take the scallion, the vegetables that we just prepared, and rinse them properly under running water. After you do that, dice the scallion fine. Alright, so just put these vegetables aside for later. Alright, it's been about five minutes thereabout, so that's finished. So that's what you want. You just put your roast sesame seed aside for later. Alright, so this is our broccoli. Make sure you get fresh broccoli. This is 1 crown of broccoli, or a head of broccoli. Alright, so do as you see me doing. We're gonna cut florets. So usually on your crown of broccoli there is little florets on top. So what I like to do is just cut them off. Just cut the big stem off, and then kind of cut the florets. Alright, so that's what you want. Look on the broccoli properly. Make sure you cut off all dying leaves. Wash your broccoli properly with some white vinegar and water. I'm just showing you on this tray, but you put it in a bowl, add some water, add some vinegar, and wash it properly. That remove any dirt or insect that might be in it. Alright. And then once you do that, you rinse it on the running water, on the fresh running water. Put your broccoli aside for later. This part is optional. It's just a Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm just doing it just to give them steak a bit of spiciness. Alright, so now I'm making my sauce, my marinating sauce. So get one of these ceramic bowls. Just don't use plastic. Alright, and measure and add 1 tablespoon of food cornstarch. Add 2 tablespoons of cooking wine, sherry. Add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, light soy sauce. Alright, so once you add the ingredients, stir in properly. Be sure the cornstarch is dissolved properly. If you have fresh chili pepper or any real pepper, you can cut that and put it in there like half. just to get the sauce kind of spicy or not. Alright, so once you mix the ingredients, this is our marinating sauce. Alright, so just want to get a piece of steak, say half pound between a pound. Oops, cutting off that's skin. I think this is the skin end. Alright, so look on your piece of beef. You want to cut long strips as long as your finger, but make sure you look on the beef and cut alongside the grain. Alongside the grain mean on the piece of beef you're gonna see little lines, which is fiber. You're gonna see little lines. You just want to cut alongside the lines, not across the lines. Just cut alongside the lines. So that's what it means. That's what I mean when I say cut alongside the grain. So you want to cut little steak strips as tall as your finger and as thin as you can get it. Alright, so just do as you see me doing and cut steak strips. Make sure you have a sharp knife. Alright, so what I'm doing, I'm just cutting little blocks, so I'll be able to cut the steak strips much easier. So remember now, look and cut it alongside the grain. Use a sharp knife. Just be sure to keep your fingertips out of the way. You can use shoulder steak, any kind of steak cut, or any cut of steak. Alright, so once you cut your steak strips, you add it to the marinating sauce. Just allow it to marinate at least 10 minutes. If you got time, you can get up in the morning and do it early and put it in the refrigerator and prepare it for lunch or dinner. Alright, next, get a small saucepan like this, add water and put it to boil. Let's allow the water to get hot. And we have in our steak, vegetable, oyster sauce with white rice. So once the water comes to a boil, just turn the stove off. Turn it off. And then add your prepared, cleaned and prepared broccoli, florets to the hot water and just let it stay in it for like a minute or two. And remember now, you can use cauliflower as well. You can use any vegetables that you like. Alright, so now in a separate bowl, add some cold water, fridge cold water if you can. If not, room temperature is fine. So after a minute, between two, remove the broccoli florets from the hot water into cold water. Alright, so once, the purpose of doing this is to stop the cooking, to stop the broccoli from cooking. Alright, so you just add it in the water, let it stay for a couple seconds, and then you remove the water and then put your broccoli aside for later. Your broccoli florets. Your broccoli florets. Alright, so now you see, most of the time is about preparation. So now I'm gonna cut my carrots into carrot sticks. Little carrot sticks. Or carrot strips. I like to say strips. Alright, so you just do as you see me doing and cut the carrot in half and then put the flat end down on a flat surface like a chopping board and then cut little strips. If the carrot is big, you can cut the carrot in 1/3, or you can cut the carrot in quarters. And then you cut each of those little pieces in half and then put the flat end down and then cut strips. Now with the onion, you cut the onion in half and then you cut half in half. So in other words, cut the onion in quarters and then remove and then separate the leaves. Alright, so this is what you want. Put your prepared vegetables. A small saucepan. So allow it to get hot for about 3 minutes before you add oil. Put the stove's gauge on 4, medium-low. After 2 minutes, between 3, and the saucepan or your cooking pan is hot, add oil. Add about 2 cups of cooking oil. I'm using coconut oil. You can use olive oil, vegetable oil. The stove's gauge is on 4, medium-low. Just allow. Alright, this was just the pepper, just to spice the sauce a little. Remove it. Alright, so this is our steak strips. It's been marinating for about an hour. But remember now, you can remarinate it for at least 10 minutes if you're in a hurry. So just give your steak strips a last stir. Alright, so once you see a little smoke, it's been 5 minutes and you see a little smoke, add your marinating steak strips. And immediately after that to the heating hot. And immediately after adding, just be careful, immediately after adding, stir in, separating the steak strips and prevent sticking. So just do as you see me doing and just use a spatula, a smooth spoon or a fork or anything, and just take 40 seconds, 30 seconds thereabout, and just stir in your steak strips, separating the pieces and prevent sticking. Alright, so once you do that, just allow frying. Stove's gauge is on 4, medium-low. It's been 2 minutes now, and this is what it looks like. Just take a 1 stir. Just use a wooden spoon like you see me doing, and stir in. Just allow it to fry just stir in every 2 minutes. Alright, it's been 4 minutes now. See, this is what it looks like. Just stir in your pot. Stove's gauge is on 4, medium-low, and allow. 6 minutes now. Stir in. This is steak strips. It's gonna take a little while to tenderize. But if you want, what I did just now was test it, and it wasn't ready. It's still kind of tough. Alright, so it's been 8 minutes, and that's good enough. After 8 minutes, you can take out a little piece and test it, you know, taste it and see how tender, if it's tenderized to your liking. But 8 minutes is good enough. Turn the stove off and remove about 95% of the oil. Just do as you see me doing. Get a spoon that scoops and remove most of the oil. All you really need is about half of quarter cup left. This little scoop that I'm using measures quarter cup. So you just want about half of that. Leave back in the pot, in the saucepan. Alright, you see all that nice sauce gravy below? Alright, so add your shredded garlic and your shredded ginger. Alright, turn your stove back on and put it on low for now. You just want the ginger and the shredded garlic to saute somewhat. And add the scallion as well and saute the scallion. The scallion is optional. Stove's gauge is on low. Just allow it to marinate and soften or tenderize the vegetables a little and flavor the oil too as well. Alright, so 30-40 seconds, between a minute to, depending on how hot the pot is, and it's tenderized. You don't want it to burn, you just want it to flavor the oil somewhat. So once it's tenderized somewhat, just stir it in with the cooked steak strips. Now add 1 tablespoon of chili bean sauce. Add 1 teaspoon of chili pepper in oil. Shredded chili pepper in oil, really. Alright, so once you add those ingredients, turn the stove up on high for medium low. And just use your wooden spoon or your spatula and stir in. Sorry I don't have a wok, but if you have a saucepan like this, all you need to do is just lift it up and kind of put the edge of the saucepan right under the middle of the heat. That way you can stir it in properly. So you add your diced vegetables, diced carrots and onion, stir it in for about a minute or so. Stove's gauge is on 4 medium high. Then add your broccoli florets. And then stir it in. Make sure the sauce coats the vegetable properly. And once you do that, you finish. That's it. That's vegetable stir fry. Alright, so I'm getting ready to serve. You just make a couple stirs and bring up your sauce. See these container, you gotta seal them properly. So that's why I put a plastic on. Alright, so you serve your steak, vegetable, stir fry on a bed of rice. Why I call it vegetable stir fry? Because you can use any kind of vegetable with this recipe. Instead of me just calling it steak, broccoli stir fry, you can use any vegetable. You can use cauliflower, carrot, you name it. Just use what's available in your region. Alright, so this is Miguel's steak, vegetable stir fry. Visit JamaicaDinners.com for the recipe. Subscribe, like, share, and leave your comments below. Steak, vegetable, stir fry. Vegetables, stir fry. Alright, so I almost forgot to add. I almost forgot to add the roasted sesame seeds. So you sprinkle some of this roasted sesame seed on top. Look at the color of the broccoli. Oh, it's so bright and green. That's what you want, with all the rich enzymes in it. The carrot is crunchy. The broccoli is just perfect. It's not overcooked. It's not undercooked. It's just right. Broccoli can be eaten raw. So if you eat it raw, it's better for you. The enzymes, when you cook it, it kills the enzymes. So the less cooking, the better. Alright, so this is just me adding the roasted sesame seed. To the steak vegetable stir fry. Yeah, just remember, so I just want to add it so I won't forget. Alright, so back to my meal. The pepper, the chili pepper is just right. It's mild, spicy. This the Scotch bonnet pepper that I use kind of just spruce the flavor up somewhat, but it's not spicy. The carrot is sweet and crunchy. As you can see, the gravy is there. And remember now, you can use the onion. Is crunchy and sweet and fresh and nice and delicious. The steak is tenderized, somewhat chewy, but it's cooked. It's not chewy, it's just cooked, it's just right. The broccoli is so bright, the broccoli is. Broccoli is rich in vitamin C. This is not peppered steak stir fry. This is just steak, vegetables stir fry. Peppered steak is a different meal. Alright, bye.
Yeah, man.